dinner. It's been a couple of years since we gathered for this event, but I am proud to announce tonight that this is the largest Lincoln Day dinner that we've held here in Bradley County. So thank you so very much. It is truly all of you that make Bradley County the most Republican county in the state. And I want to thank you for your faith in me. It's been a true honor to serve as your Republican Party chairman and also as your state executive committee woman for the 10th district. To start off tonight, I have a few people that I want to thank. You know that we love to support local businesses here in our community, so I want us all to give a hand for Stadium Barbecue. I also want to thank Bradley Services and Mike Patterson, Nathan McNelly, and Ethan McNelly for providing our audio and visual equipment and setting everything up for us tonight. I want to thank the Bradley County Republican women for helping us decorate all of the tables. And I'd also like to take just a moment to recognize our local executive board. So everyone who's on the local executive board, please stand. Thank you. Thank you. These are the people who made this dinner possible tonight. They all worked really hard. We had a lot of people who showed up today at noon and have worked all day to set up everything for tonight's dinner. So I just want to say I have a great team of people who have really worked hard on this dinner, and I thank each and every one of you. You can also find our local executive boards, their names and their positions on the back of your program. All right, I also want to thank all of our table sponsors. Thank you so much. I was a little bit overwhelmed by your support this year. As you can see, we have sold out every table that we had available. We actually this afternoon were scrambling around getting more tables out of classrooms and actually getting chairs out of the band room. So we have a full house tonight, and I thank all of you. We will be recognizing all of our table sponsors here in just a bit in the program, but thank you again. Now, I realize that you guys did not come here tonight to hear me speak, so we are going to move on with our program. And I want to introduce our MC tonight. He has been instrumental in helping us plan our dinner. He serves us in Nashville in the Tennessee House of Representatives, and unlike me, he is a real professional in the world of communications. Please help me welcome State Representative Dan Howe.
How about our chairlady for the Bradley County GOP and her crew and all they've done in putting this together tonight? She deserves a big, big hand. Do that again, would you? Thank you. I think Emily said they had sold between 450 and 500 tickets tonight, and from where I stand, it looks like it. It's a sea of people out there. So glad you're here. I know you're going to enjoy your evening. The food was good. Thank you, Stadium Barbecue. And also, you're going to enjoy hearing from our Speaker, Tennessee Speaker of the House. We'll be introducing him later. But right now, we have a few preliminaries we need to take care of. I'm going to ask David Benton to come and offer a prayer. If you could stand and then remain standing for the pledge.
Good evening, everybody. Such a good crowd tonight. Glad to see everybody here. It's been, 2 or 3 years? Just wonderful to be here. I know the world's in a lot of turmoil right now. The Bible talks about wars and rumors of wars and famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. We've had our share of famine, or the pestilence right here with COVID. Thank God that's about behind us, and we're here tonight together in person, and we can do that. Seems like we have leadership vacuum in Washington, at least especially in the White House we do. But you know what? We don't have a leadership vacuum here. Just look at all you people. We've got a great number of people here that are leaders of our local community, who are representatives in office and some that are inspiring to be in office. The Bible says to pray for the leaders of our land that we might live a quiet and peaceable life. And that's what I'd like to do right now, is pray for you people right here. So let's pray. Dear Heavenly Father, Lord God, we thank you for the opportunity to come together and gather ourselves together in one mind and one accord about our local town here, and our county, and our state, and all these people that have come here to help serve you. They want to take their time off in their lives to be servants to us here locally. God bless them, Lord. God protect them. Give them the resources they need to do their jobs. God grant unto them knowledge, wisdom, and boldness to do their jobs. May they be faithful in that which they have, and don't ever let them be deceived. May they know the truth, and the truth will set them free, Lord God. Lord, we ask you to be with us tonight. We invite you in our meetings. We invite you in our state, in our county, in our cities, Lord God. You are welcome here. We are one nation under God, indivisible, liberty, and justice for all, and you are welcome in our schools and in our cafeterias and in everywhere we are in life, in Cleveland, Tennessee, and Bradley County. So thank you for being with us tonight. But Lord, we just want to remind everybody here that we've not been given a spirit of fear, but love, power, and a sound mind. We ask that you bless these people, Father, to give them the sound mind they need to lead and guide us, Lord. And Lord, I'd like to take just a moment to say a special prayer for a special person who couldn't be with us tonight. My friend, Trip Hathcock. Thank you for letting Lindsay come. Peggy couldn't come. God reached down and touched him tonight, Lord God. And God bless Lindsay and Peggy and what they've done in raising their child all these years. But God reached down and touched him. Be with us tonight. Be with the speakers. Maybe learn from Washington and Nashville what's going on. And one more thing, Lord God. Usually pray for the food before we eat, but that didn't happen. So God, I thank you for the food and ask that you bless what we've already eaten and sanctify it, bless the nourishment of our bodies. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Sophia is coming to lead us. Sophia Hildebrand coming to lead us in the pledge. Flag is here.
Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. And now we have Charity Baggett is going to sing the national anthem for us. Thank you.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed? Have the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through
was great. Well, every good show has to have a commercial break, so I'm going to do that. But first of all, if you're an elected official, I know we just had you stand, but if you're an elected official in Bradley County or in the city, would you please stand to be recognized? If you're an elected official, Bradley County or Cleveland, City of Cleveland, let's give these folks a hand for what they do for our community. Also, we have some special guests from outside the county. I believe I saw State Representative Ken Calfee. Did I see Ken come in earlier? I thought he's right here in front of me. I can't see him. Ken, we're glad you're here. Ken is from Roane County. Let's make him welcome. Ken and I often are members of the same morning coffee club at the Cordell Hall building about 6:30 in the morning. We have some good conversations. Also, I believe I saw Billy Breeden, the property assessor from Meigs County. Billy, just raise your hand. There he is in the back. Billy, we're glad to have you here. And Sheriff Ross from Polk County was going to try to make it, but I haven't seen him. Sheriff, if you're here, just raise your hand. All right, thank you. Well, as I said, we have a commercial break. I want to recognize our dinner sponsors tonight, the platinum sponsors, Cleveland Mayor Kevin Brooks, David Calfee, Clay Collins, Israel Farless, Scott Donut Gilbert, State Representative Mark Hall, Stephen Hatchett, Rebel Johnson, Alan Jones for Better Schools, Jimmy Kendrick Jr., Andrew Morgan. Gold sponsors, Bradley County Road Superintendent Sandra Knight, District Attorney Steve Crump. Silver sponsors are County Commissioner Johnny Mull, City Councilman Ken Webb. Bronze sponsors, Bradley County Mayor and Circuit Court Judge Andrew Freiberg, J. Adam Lowe, Circuit Court Clerk Gayla Miller, Bradley County Sessions Juvenile Court Judge Barrett Painter, and Josh Taylor. Let's thank these sponsors for what they've done in making this event happen tonight. Well, we have a couple of folks that I'm going to call to the stage in a moment, but first, Emily said it was fine if I said a few things. And of course, being in politics, you know I took advantage of that. But I'm not going to take long, but I want to make you aware of something that is important to me. I was asked several months ago if I would be the district coordinator or district chairman for the Yes on One initiative in District 22. Some of you do not know what the Yes on One initiative is, but I'm going to tell you. It's very important in the November election. When I got to my office, the session began middle of January. One of the first bills that I saw on my desk, my assistant had laid it there for me to look at, was a bill sponsored by a Democrat in the Senate and a Democrat in the House that would have repealed all right-to-work laws in the state of Tennessee from the Tennessee Code. They would have been gone. You say, well, that couldn't happen. How do we know? We change code all the time in Tennessee legislature. And why this is important is because all it takes is one bill, one session, 51 votes in the House, 17 votes in the Senate, and we can change the law. It's just that easy. Someone laughingly said, if you get 51 votes in the House and 17 in the Senate, you can sell the dome off the Capitol building. And that's true. We could. And I hope we don't, because we have a beautiful Capitol. But I tell you this so that you will understand how important right to work is to the state of Tennessee. One bill could have eliminated decades of good industrial and business recruitment simply because we are a right-to-work state. And this bill would have eliminated that had it been able to pass. Of course, it had no chance. We knew that. We're fortunate to have a supermajority in the House and the Senate. But I want to let you know that there is an initiative on the ballot in November. It's called Yes on One. It will put the constitutional amendment for the right to work in the state constitution. It's a whole lot easier to change the Tennessee code. It's much, much harder to change the Constitution. And it's taken about 6 years to get to this point to where it's actually on the ballot. When you see that in November, I urge you to vote yes on one. And let's make sure that moving into the future for the next generations, that Tennessee remains a right-to-work state. It will impact our economic future for years, possibly decades to come. So please keep that in mind. I would like to call at this time Representative Mark Hall to the podium, and also shortly after that, Senator Mike Bell. We are actually having this dinner tonight in District 24, which is right in the heart of Mark Hall's district, so it only seemed right to let him say a few words, don't you think? Please welcome Representative Mark Hall.
Wow, it is great to be home. It is great to be back in the district, and it's great to see some friendly faces and in friendly territory. What an honor it is to serve you in Nashville. I feel like I'm the sole beneficiary of this whole process. You know, we have 17,000 laws on the books. God gave us 10 laws, we can't even abide by them. But for some reason, we're always drafting new legislation. There's 3 pieces of legislation that I drafted this year that I was very excited about. First and foremost was Joker's Law, regarding the assault on law enforcement K-9. In the past, if someone assaulted, ambushed, inflicted bodily harm on a law enforcement K-9, it was nothing more than destruction of property crime. We've changed all of that. We moved it to a Class B felony. Some of the most aggressive legislation in the country. It is, Joker has become the poster K-9 for the rest of, for every K-9 in this country. I've had states like Wisconsin and Texas that have reached out to me and wanted the language of this law. And when you upstage Texas in law enforcement, you're doing something. The second bill that I've worked on this year is called step therapy. In the past, if a patient was diagnosed with a disease, they would have to follow a regimen and a protocol of ineffective and substandard drugs. This law changed all of that. It puts Tennesseans and their patients in the best chance of success. Insurance love it because it's due to cost avoidance, and it keeps the disease from progressing months and sometimes years down the road. This one bill will probably affect more people's lives in this great state than any other bill drafted this year on the Hill. And as a matter of fact, if we live long enough, everybody in this room will benefit. And last but not least was tougher on DUI crimes. I am committed this year to loosening the reins and taking the shackles off the DA and the judges and allowing them to use their own discretion on punishing those that violate the law, whether it's disposal of car tires in unauthorized areas. But this one bill, basically it reads, and it's very straightforward and it's very simple. If a parent of a minor child dies at the hands of a drunk driver, the convicted drunk driver, is then responsible for child support. This bill does 2 things. It holds the DUI offender accountable, and it protects our most valuable resource, which is our children. I want to thank you for allowing me to serve you. I love serving in Nashville, but I get my most enjoyment when I drive 163 miles south and I get to the top of White Oak Mountain. And I see that sign that says entering Bradley County. I know I'm back with my people then. Bradley County, I love you. God bless you, and God bless the great state of Tennessee.
Thank you, Representative Hall. Senator Mike Bell, there's a whole lot that we could say about Senator Bell, and we probably will a little bit later. But right now, please welcome Senator Mike Bell.
Thank you, and I'm just going to take a minute. You've got a lot of people who are actually on the ballot this year running who need to have more time than I need tonight. I want to tell you, when I ran for the Senate back in 2010, after serving 2 years in the House, and Lisa and I, both Cleveland natives, both Bradley High graduates, and coming back in 2010 and just reconnecting with people here in Bradley County, and y'all made me feel like I never left. And I've been honored to represent you in Nashville for the last 12 years. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. Our next speaker is someone that I think many of you came to hear, someone I greatly respect as a person, as a policymaker, as a legislator, and as a leader. Cameron Sexton is an 8th generation Tennessean. I don't know how many years that is, but it's a while. 8th generation Tennessean and a University of Tennessee graduate. He served the citizens of Cumberland, Putnam, and Van Buren counties for 6 terms in the Tennessee House. During his tenure, the volunteer state has quickly become one of the most fiscally sound states in the United States, and it's become a preferred destination for business and industry as well as their employees who want a great place to live, to work, to raise a family, and retire. Before being elected Speaker by his peers in July of 2019, re-elected again in 2020, Speaker Sexton served as the Republican Caucus Chairman, a former Republican Whip, the House Health Committee Chairman, and as Speaker, he has prioritized conservative, patient-centered health solutions that increase accessibility to health care, such as telemedicine, improve healthcare quality, and lower overall costs. He's fought to implement historic tax cuts, and the record shows that. And he has been instrumental in record-breaking improvements within the state's public education system. Speaker Sexton and his wife Lacey live in Crossville, and they have 3 children, Greer, Olivia, and Nathaniel. They are active members of the Central Baptist Church, several other community and civic organizations. Speaker Sexton is employed by One Bank of Tennessee, where he works in business development. He also serves on the board of that bank. And on a personal note, if I may, I consider it an honor to serve under Speaker Sexton's leadership. He is a true constitutional conservative. He believes in and he fights for the rights of the unborn, the Second Amendment, and individual liberty for all Americans and all areas of our lives. Representative Mark Hall and I are pleased to welcome Speaker Sexton. It's an honor to have him with us tonight. Please welcome Tennessee Speaker of the House, Representative Cameron Sexton.
Thank you all so much. The last time I was here, I was a junior in high school playing for Oak Ridge against Cleveland, and I did not get a reception like that. So thank you all very much for that opportunity. It's wonderful to be here, and thank you, Dan, for what you do as state representative. And he does a wonderful job. I'm trying to get him to do my radio ads. I haven't quite got him there yet, but I'm hopeful that one day he will be the voice of my ads. And so it's great to be here with Dan. It's great to be here with Mark, who does a fabulous job for you. And both of them working together in the House are good quality people. And I love when you send me good quality people because it makes my job so much easier. And then also it's good to see my good friend Kevin Brooks, the mayor. We call him Bishop when he was in Nashville, and his wife and their family. Great to see Representative Calfee up here as well from Roane County. And then it's great to be here with Senator Gardenhire. I see him over there. Good to see you, Senator. And with also my good friend Senator Bell, who has championed a lot of causes in the Senate for us that we passed through on the House side. And Mike, we owe you a lot for making sure that those school boards are now partisan and people have to either declaim as Republicans or Democrats. And Emily, thank you for this dinner tonight. Thank you for everything that you did to put this together as we continue to grow our party, because that's what we need to do. If you're not growing, you're losing. And so we need to continue to invite people in and allow them to partake in this conservative philosophy that not only works at local, state, and will work at federal when we get there, but it works in your everyday life. And as you said, I guess being an 8th generation Tennessean, that makes me a bona fide Tennessean, I think, by the definition today. And so my family has come from up in Scott County. As they said in the bio, I have 3 kids. Nathaniel just graduated from UT a year ago. He's on his own, making his own living. That's a great day in the Sexton household. My second oldest, Olivia, she's a sophomore at Tennessee Tech. We're hoping that she follows in her brother's footsteps. And then we have Greer, who's a first grader, and she's 7 years old. And so when we sit and we draw and we look at the Tennessee map, because I'm trying to teach her right, and we open up that Crayola box to color the state map, there is no Republican red clown that works for as red as Bradley County is. And so I think we're going to make a suggestion to Crayola. We just need a crayon that says Republican. And that's the red that should be in the Crayola box. And so we're going to make that suggestion. And as you know, this election cycle, people are saying this is a wave election. And I'm sure you all know what a wave election is. The wave election is when we see Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer walking out the door and we go, bye-bye. That's the wave election that we're going to have. And that is going to be a fabulous day for our country. And so as I start tonight, I know everybody here loves Governor DeSantis. And he's fighting for the conservative cause, and he's doing a lot of great things, and yes, he is. But let me just tell you about your Tennessee General Assembly and everything that we're doing. Because in Tennessee, we're used to getting things done. We're used to fighting the good fight. And so he got credit for passing bills about rioters and putting consequences on rioters last year. Well, Tennessee passed that 6 months before Florida ever did. They actually called us and asked us for our legislation so that they could pass it. And so your Tennessee General Assembly is leading in the country. Also, when we passed COVID protection, we did that first as well. They came in after us because we wanted to protect your right to make the decisions for yourself, make the decisions for your children yourself, not to have government tell you what to do, when to do it, how to do it, and you needed to do it. And so Tennessee stood up and made sure to protect your liberty, your freedom, and your ability to make your own decisions. And then during COVID, we're one of the few states that stayed open because we understood that you all should be able to make those decisions for yourself and weigh the risk and the consequences. Because at the end, Republicans believe that you're smart enough to make your own decisions. Sometimes the Democrats want you to believe that they know what's best. And that's not our philosophy. So your General Assembly is not only leading the country, we're winning against Florida as well. And even when you look at election integrity, and you look at this last election, when we obtained the majority in the General Assembly, the first bill that we passed for election integrity was when you go vote, you had to show the photo ID. We were one of the first states that did that. And you're talking about a fight that we had to fight back from people who were complaining about you shouldn't show a photo ID to go vote. But if you get on an airplane, what do you have to show? A photo. Open up a bank at my bank. Guess what you have to show? A photo. The most precious right that we have. How can someone argue that you shouldn't show a photo to vote? And then we saw where these states have same-day registration, same-day vote. That's the craziest thing I've ever seen. Anybody could come in and vote on election day, and you're trying to figure out after the fact who was a fraud and who wasn't. It makes it very hard. We're never going to pass that in the state of Tennessee. And then you had in these states where they did mass mail ballots. It's not good enough that you should just take responsibility to go vote on election day. We don't trust that you'll go vote, so we're going to send everybody a ballot. And I remember talking to Congressman Kustoff in West Tennessee and Washington when they did it in Washington, D.C. You know how many ballots for how many people he got on his doorstep in one election last time? 5. And they all got ballots. And we wonder what happened in that election potentially. And then we were watching when you had all these mail-in ballots, the issues. Because we know people make fake IDs, right? Students, I'm not asking you for your opinion in here. We know that people make fake IDs. And they're really good at it too. They really are. So what makes you think that they can't make a fake ballot on election day? They very well can. And so one of the things we learned during the election was there was no unique identifying marks on any of those states in Pennsylvania, Ohio. It was just a piece of paper with words on it that anybody could print off their computer. So last year, we were the first state in America that passed every mail-in ballot in our state now has a unique watermark that you cannot see with the visible eye. So if you mail that in and it's not on there, we know it's a forged ballot. And so in Tennessee, we take election integrity very seriously. And we're making sure that we have free and fair elections, but we're also making sure that you can only vote once. Because the other thing we're doing is you have the Secretary of State with our election officials here locally, where every month they're making sure that the people in the voting rolls and the people who died, those people get removed. There's no more dead people voting in our state because we're removing them off the voter rolls. And so we're just doing common sense. Thank you. A lot of times governing is just about doing things that you should think of in common sense. And then this year we passed a lot of ethics reform. I won't go into why we need to pass ethics reform, but we passed ethics reform. And what we hear a lot of time from individuals is, you know what, when people go to Washington or they go wherever and they come back, they're rich. They have more money now than they did when they went. How does that work? Well, it shouldn't be that way. There should not be a perception that that's the case. So last year, once again, we passed an ethics reform bill where anybody who's serving in the General Assembly, because I want to make sure as Speaker that you have confidence in the people that are serving you at the state level, that they are not using their office to personally profit. And so we passed it to make it a felony where they lose their voting rights, their ability to ever run for office, if they ever try to use the state for goods or services for their personal business. Because at the end of the day, you need to have faith that they're there to serve you, not serve themselves. And that's important. And then this year we're looking at some campaign finance reform. And why is that important? Because as you're watching the last election with Trump and what was happening on the ballots, you also saw what was happening in campaign finance reforms with dark money. And so you have these 501c4 groups that are out there. You don't know who contributed to them. You don't know who they're spending their money on. It's the Wild Wild West. And there was more money, more dark money ever spent. Donald Trump had more money spent against him than anyone else. And so this year we're working on legislation that says if you're a 501c4 group and you want to do something 60 days before an election to influence an election, whether you're doing it negatively or positively, at the very least you should report to the state where you're spending your money. Because you should know as a person, if George Soros is coming into the state of Tennessee to try to defeat us, we at least should know that that's George Soros coming into our state, not some dark money hole that's putting in millions of dollars. And so those are the things that we're trying to do here in our state, to make sure that you have the confidence that your elected officials are doing the job that you elected them to do. And the last thing I'll touch on real quick is our criminal justice system. And I'm so thankful that we live in a state and we have a district attorney, we have sheriffs and police chiefs and law enforcement, and we have judges who are willing to make sure that they prosecute, or they arrest, they prosecute, and they convict. Because I can tell you, in other parts of the country, that's not happening. They're not doing that. And so we always talk about criminal justice reform. And when you talk about criminal justice reform, a lot of times people talk about what happens when you get to prison, which is part of criminal justice reform. But criminal justice reform should start with K through 12 education, because we know what happens if someone doesn't graduate high school. They're more likely to be in prison. They're more likely to be a criminal. So we have to focus on K through 12 education. We need to focus on juvenile intervention programs, making sure if there's a juvenile that's committing crimes, that we have the programs available to pull them out of that life of crime before they ever become an adult. We need to make sure that they have help. If you have nonviolent offenders that are committing crimes, we need to make sure we have the rehabilitation for those people to give them the ability, hopefully, to change their lives so that they don't become violent offenders. But at some point, do we not say to ourselves, there's a line that if you cross, you do 100% of the sentence? Last year, we passed 100% sentencing on crimes historically against women and children. There were 31 crimes. This year, we're working on 23 crimes on violent criminals, especially aggravated robbery, aggravated burglary, assault with a deadly weapon, second-degree murder, vehicular homicide due to intoxication. Do you know that there's been people in our state who were drunk drivers who killed somebody who had drugs in the car, and the sentence is stronger for the drugs in the car than it was for killing the person? What kind of message do you send to people? And so we have identified what we think is 23 violent crimes where if you commit those crimes, that's our line. And if you commit them, you do 100% of that sentence. Because what happens if you don't is what you have is you continue to re-victimize the victims and their families because you go to parole hearings. And so at some point, they're going to come up for parole. And then year after year after year, that family or that victim has to continue to work with the Attorney General to make sure they don't come out of jail. How do you ever get past what happened to your family if every year you have to go confront what happened? Jail is meant for bad people who do bad things. It's not meant to be a country club. And so in our system right now, think about this. If you're in our system right now, you can get good credit 16 days a month if you just don't shank the guard. Next month, you shank a guard, you don't get your 16 days. The next month, you're a good person, you get 16 days. So think about it. You get 6 months every year off of your sentence as long as you don't do something bad in prison. Shouldn't the expectation be that you're going to be good in prison? Should that not be the expectation? I think it should be. And I don't need a study to tell me that if we have more criminals in jail, less criminals on the street, that we're going to be more safe. Seems like common sense. Why do I need all these fancy $500,000 studies and all these other groups telling me that that's going to make us more unsafe? It doesn't pass the test. And so, as we're looking at criminal justice reform and truth in sentencing, we got to make sure that we're protecting our families and making your house your castle. We hear all the time, your house is your castle, right? You hear it, your house is your castle. But you know what? We don't treat it like your castle. If somebody breaks into your house, they're probably not going to serve more than 6 months. And some groups will tell you that home invasion and breaking into your house and aggravated burglary is not a violent crime. Imagine going home every single night after somebody breaks in your house and have that feeling, are they coming again? And how is that not a violent? And so there was a gentleman, a family in West Tennessee, a Rhodes College student, who went home one night with his girlfriend and 2 friends. They went to bed. 4 people broke into their house. They tied him up said ungodly things to the girlfriend, pulled the gun out, shot the boyfriend. He fought him off. They shot the girlfriend, shot her in the leg. The gun jammed. He fought with them. They ran out of the house. The other two friends were fine. He died. 24-year-old college student died. And you had a criminal justice system. It's not the fault of the DAs, law enforcement, or the judges. You had a criminal justice system that one of those guys who pulled that trigger, for 14 years, they were in the criminal justice system. That was their fourth aggravated burglary charge. They had served less than 18 months in 14 years. And that family had to lose somebody until the justice system and the sentencing caught up with that person. That person should have never been out of jail committing that many crimes. But they were. And so when we talk about making sure that people serve the time, we want people to be able to be rehabilitated and have the chance to turn their life around. But we have to have a line in the sand that says, once you cross this, you lost your opportunity. And if we need to build more jails, that's fine. Because a strong deterrent sometimes is a strong sentence. And the only people laughing at law enforcement are the criminals. I had a meeting in West Tennessee, and they were telling me, but by the time they locked them up and sentenced them, they beat them home for dinner. And they had to go back out and rearrest them again. And so we have to be more focused. And I'll tell you, this is how the criminal justice system works. And I'll give you an example. All y'all have kids, and I'm not trying to say that your kids are like a violent criminal, but to make the analogy. If you were punishing your child for doing something, and you said, I'm going to give you 4 weeks at home. You don't get whatever. You're grounded for 4 weeks. And you came off that 4 weeks at some point, what do you think happens in your child's mind? I wonder what they're going to do to me next time. So you stay firm for 4 weeks on things a lot less than killing somebody. But if you were a parent in the criminal justice system, this is how you would punish your child if you're in the criminal justice system. Son, I punish you to 4 weeks of being grounded. Okay, Dad. But, you know what? The sentencing guideline says you get 30%. Well, let's see, so that's a little over a week. That's like 9 days. Well, thanks, Dad. Well, and then if you decide not to talk bad to me, get out of the house after curfew, I'll reduce your sentence by another 25% on average in the state of Tennessee. So after about 5 days, you're scot-free. What's your child going to do the next time you try to punish them? They're not going to think anything about it. That's what your criminal justice system does right now. And that's why we have to fix it. One of the best things I ever did my son one time is he was in trouble and I couldn't figure out what it was that would punish him. So finally we just took his door off the room. Now I'm not saying we take the doors off the jail because I know what will happen to all y'all people. I understand that. But you have to hold firm. As parents, you know if you don't hold firm, you know what the consequence is going to be years down the road. So why do we not hold firm on the people who are causing the most harm to our community on a day-to-day basis? Why do we want to be soft on them? People will say, you got to love and show compassion, and if you're tough on a criminal, you're not loving or showing compassion. I didn't punish my son because I wanted to be mean, or my daughter. It wasn't just one or the other. You did it out of love and compassion because you want them to be better. You want them to respect the authority. The problems that attorney generals and law enforcement and judges have, they have no respect for the institution. They have no respect for authority. Why not? Because we're not making them respect them. And that's the difference. And so that's why I'm hopeful this year with my colleagues in the House and Senate that we can do something that no other state has done. There is not one state that has passed 100% truth in sentencing. I think it's about time that Tennessee leads that way again. And so as I close, it's wonderful to be here. I won't tell you I about got dunked on when I played here. I got out of the way just in time. I wasn't posted or a poster. But let me just say one last thing. In our state, we live in a great state. And we're very blessed to live in this state, blessed to live in this community. But there should be no cost that we should not bear to protect our community, our neighbors, our friends, our streets. There should not be a child, when I was in Memphis, have to tell me that when they hear gunshots, they know how to get under their bed. And so as we think about how we're going to improve our state and improve our future and protect law enforcement, we also need to realize that at some point, our faith is going to be tested. You can watch what's happening overseas. You can see what's happening. You read the Bible, you know what's going to happen in the end. And at the end, the only thing that really matters is our faith and making sure that when the time comes, we don't deny our faith. Because if we don't deny it at that time, then we know that we're going to serve the higher purpose. And there is a higher purpose. There's a purpose why we're all here. I'm not here on this earth just to be speaker. I'm here because there's things I need to do to help individuals to do certain things. And I realize that there's people in my life that have come into my life that have helped me, but I also have to realize I come into people's lives to help them. And so at the end, I hope that when the time comes, that we allow everybody to know, whether it's today or tomorrow or every single day, that we stand with a God who is loving and that our faith will never waver. If our faith doesn't waver, then we will always win in the end. Thank you all very much. God bless you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It's really good to have you in Bradley County. It really is. And that's the kind of leadership that we live with every day during session. I have to tell you that the Speaker has brought stability in an awkward time that you know about. And he shepherded us, guided us through a pandemic that wreaked havoc in many states across the country, but isn't it good because of leadership like this that we can be all together again, just like we are tonight. No masks, less than 6 feet apart. This is a result of good leadership, really good leadership. And thanks again, Speaker. I believe we have a special acknowledgement at this time, and if you'll turn your attention toward the screen, I believe Miss Emily is going to play a video for you.
Rumors spreading round in that Texas town about the shack outside the game. And you know what I'm talking about. Just let me know if you wanna go to that home out on the range. They got a lot of nice girls.
Senator Bell, as you prepare to leave the state Senate, we want you to know there are just some things that your successor will never be able to replicate, like your impeccable style and fashion. From your choice of socks, your genius pairing of camo with ties, and your choice of hats and headgear that cannot be erased from our memories, no matter how hard we try. You're an outdoorsman, a hunter, a fisherman, the best noodler, and frog gigger in the state Senate. You love all of God's creatures, the furry ones, the slimy ones, the alive ones, the dead ones, the grilled ones, the sausage balled ones, and the ones in your crock pot. In fact, we are quite concerned that your colleagues in the Senate will starve. We're pretty sure you're the only state senator with a crock pot in their office. Senator, as you start a new journey, we hope you enjoy more time with your family. We not only thank you for your service, but we thank them for sharing you with us. You have spent a lot of time away from your family to serve all of ours. And Mike, after the thousands of pancake fundraisers that you attended on Saturday mornings, our hope for you is that when you're caught eating pancakes on a Saturday morning, it is because you truly want the pancakes.
Hi everyone. Hi Dad. Dad, I just wanted to say how proud I am of you and congratulations on completing 16 years in Tennessee's legislature. I was thinking this morning before recording this video about all those summers that we spent every Saturday going door to door, and I probably met a lot of you in this room during that time. Being your daughter has taught me a lot of things. It's taught me how to work hard, how to stand up for what I believe in, and how to lead and do everything with love. I'm a better person because of your service. District 9 and Tennessee as a whole are better because of your service. Your family is really proud of you, and I know whatever you do next, you will lead with the same principles that you've led Tennessee for the last 16 years. I just really hope whatever the next chapter brings, it doesn't also bring more door-to-door campaigning. Love you so much, and I'll see you soon.
Hello, this is Lieutenant Governor Randy McNally, and I would like to say a few words about my friend, Senator Mike Bell. Mike has been a great legislator and serves as a chairman of two of the very powerful committees in the legislature. He has served as chairman of the Judiciary Committee and also chairman of the Government Operations Committee. And his impassioned advocacy for issues involving life and the Second Amendment have resulted in a number of legislative victories which have translated into laws that have been upheld by the courts. Mike is a citizen legislator. He owns and operates his own business, and at the same time fulfills his duties in Nashville. I wish him well on his retirement from the legislature, and I know I can count on him for advice and counsel in the coming years. Thank you, Mike. We really appreciate your efforts and your accomplishments, and we salute you and commend you on what you have done.
Senator Bell, would you join us on stage, please? Senator Gardner.
Let me tell you what it's like serving with Mike Bell. He's there at 6 o'clock or 6:30 in the morning. Most of the time he's been up at 4 or 5 in the morning cooking some special deal to bring to us to eat. But in Judiciary Committee, he has read every single bill that was presented and can explain it to you. And we'll meet 2 or 3 times a day. He's strong on the Second Amendment. He's strong on the right to life. And I'll just leave one short example with you. In any alcohol bill that comes along, he is always a no vote, no matter what it is. And let me just give you one example. When I first won my election in 2012, I only won by 40 votes. Mike Bell was there from day one helping me out. And so after the election, Sylvia and I Alan took him to your place at the Bald-Headed Bistro. And I ordered my wife some Pinot Noir wine and me some Zinfandel, and I ordered a shrimp cocktail. And Mike looked at me and sweat popped out on his head. He said, "Todd, you know I don't drink." Nobody got it? Okay. Anyway, it's been a great pleasure serving with Mike Bell. I sit next to him on the floor. We have a lot of fun. It's very serious business, but we don't try to take it personal, and Mike doesn't. He's a real champion. We're going to miss his knowledge, his institutional knowledge in the Senate. And Mike, it's been a pleasure.
Miss Emily. Representative Hall, would you join us on stage for a photograph?
We have a plaque for Senator Bell that says, "In grateful appreciation of service to Bradley County and the great state of Tennessee, the Bradley County Republican Party honors Tennessee State Senator Mike Bell for his leadership, courage, and unwavering devotion to the citizens of Bradley County and conservative causes." And I would also like to make an announcement tonight that the Bradley County Republican Party has decided to start a scholarship to honor Mike. We're going to give a scholarship every year to a local high school senior in his name. Thank you, Mike, for all of your service. Sorry, I promised I wasn't going to do that. And your friendship. You have meant a lot to all of us here in Bradley County, and you have meant a lot to me personally, and also your family. This is kind of impromptu, so I hope that they don't really get upset with me. But would you guys come up on the stage too? Because I think that we all need to give them a round of applause as well. And these are the best behaved children I have ever seen at a political function, for sure. But they have sacrificed a lot to let, Mike actually has given a lot to us, and I'm sure at the expense of some of his family time. And so I want to thank them as well. We want to get a picture of all of them as well. All right. Thank you, Senator Bell.
I can't say anything. This is my family. This is why we do what we do. It's why we run. It's why we serve. Every one of you out there, this is why you do it. You do it for your families. We do it for we can have the type of state, community, and country that we want them to grow up in. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Bell. Thank you, Senator Bell. Thank you, Speaker. Thank you, Senator Gardenhire, Representative Hall. And thank you to the Bell family for letting us have Senator Bell for 16 years of service. 16 years that have impacted your lives in a positive way. 16 years that have resulted in good policies. Some of those bills I've had the privilege of carrying in the House along with Senator Bell, and it's just been an honor, a real honor to serve with such a distinguished legislator as Senator Bell. Well, let's cheer things up. It's time to vote. Did everyone get a ballot? If you don't have a ballot, raise your hand. Wow, we did a good job. We did a good job. Usually there's several hands. If you see the ballot there, then get ready to vote. This is something that people look forward to when they come to the Reagan Day dinners. We will start the straw poll vote with the Criminal Court Judge District 10 candidates. The way this works is each candidate, when they come up, and I call the election that they're running in, each candidate will get 2 minutes. 2 minutes. We're going to put a stopwatch on you. You get 2 minutes to introduce yourself, tell us who you are and what you stand for and what you plan to do. Don't talk about the other guy. Just tell us what you're going to do, okay? In 2 minutes, I've been told if you're not done in 2 minutes, I'm supposed to grab the mic and break your arm. Just kidding, of course. But we will begin with the Criminal Court Judge District 10 candidates, and that would be in this order: Paul Rush and Judge Sandra Donaghy. These are the candidates. Please give them a hand as they come, and they will let you know what they stand for and why you should vote for them. And Paul, we'll start with you.
Good evening. It's so good to see all of you. My name is Paul Rush. I'm running to be your next criminal court judge in the 10th, I always have to do this, in the 10th Judicial District. That's Bradley, Polk, McMinn, and Monroe. I ask for your vote, your support, and your prayers. Please pray for my family during this time. I'd like you to know a little bit about me. I'm a native Tennessean. I was born on the other side of Nashville. Don't hold that against me. I was born and raised in Memphis. I came to this very school the first time I came to East Tennessee. It was a wrestling tournament with Coach Queen. He brought me back to his hometown. So I experienced East Tennessee for the first time when I was in high school. I knew I didn't want to stay in Memphis. So I caught a ride to UTK and graduated there. When I was done at UTK with a bachelor's degree in political science, I went to the College of William and Mary School of Law in Williamsburg, Virginia, where I graduated in 2004. Since 2004, I've been a prosecutor for 11 years in your district serving you. From 2004 forward to 2015, after my 11 years of prosecuting, I jumped over to the Public Defender's Office, where I am currently serving you as your Assistant Public Defender. I always tell people, if they don't know what that is, how many of you seen a Law and Order episode? When they put the cuffs on and they say, if you cannot afford an attorney, one will be provided for you. Well, that's me. I'm the attorney that's provided for them. Now, I'm going to tell you why I have a ton of energy. I'm ready to do this job, and I believe in the pursuit of excellence. I believe if you're not pursuing excellence, then you're regressing. We need to go forward, and we need change. And I'm asking for your vote, your support, and your prayers. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Sandra Donaghy. I am the criminal court judge. I have been a lawyer for 38 years, and I've served on all sides of the courtroom. I was a prosecutor for 22 years. I was a public defender, and I was in private practice. The last 8 years, I have served as your judge. I've worked hard every day to hold offenders accountable, to guard the rights of victims, and for those who really want to change, give them alternatives. I've disposed of over 8,000 cases during the term and presided over 100 jury trials. Two of the initiatives that I'm most proud of are getting a criminal justice liaison for each county. That's a mental health expert that can go into the jails, figure out what people's needs are, be they mental health or drug addiction, and then we can define a treatment plan as a part of the accountability piece. I have also started a veterans treatment court, and those are initiatives that I am not finished with. I love my job. It has been an honor, the honor of my life to have served you, and I want to keep on going. I want to improve those programs. So I ask for your vote and your support. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge Donaghy. While they are collecting the ballots now, while they're collecting the ballots, we don't have a video, so they're going to collect the ballots, and I'm going to introduce the next candidates for you to vote on. Fill out your ballots, and they'll come around. My instructions are to ask you to tear off the ballot, just one at a time, like that, and put it in the basket when it comes around. And they're making a way around the table now. Our next straw poll of the night is for General Sessions Judge Division I candidates, and that would be Judge Barrett Painter and Andrew B. Morgan in that order. So Judge Painter, you're listed first, so we'll let you take the stage, followed by Andrew Morgan.
Hello everyone, I'm Barrett Painter. I am your current Sessions Court Judge Division I, which includes the Civil Court, Juvenile Court, Mental Health Court, Environmental Court, and Order Protection Court. Between my father, Harlan Painter, my son, Sam Painter, who's here, and myself, someone in the Painter family has been serving this great community for close to 70 years, and I want to continue that service to this great community. With the help of the Sessions Court clerks, We have made Sessions Court as efficient as it has been in a long time. We've reduced wait time for contested cases from 6 to 8 months to 2 to 6 weeks. And we've instituted a centralized calendar system. Sessions Court is running very efficient. But my passion is juvenile court. With the help of our juvenile team, your juvenile team, and our juvenile clerks, we are changing the lives of juveniles in Bradley County. We have a chaplain ministry now for the children in our detention facility. We've reinstituted the LEAF program and the Junior Master Gardener program. A child who has a crime of alcohol or drug-related offenses is going to a victim impact panel that's run by Ken and Danny Ledford, and it's making a difference in their lives. But the one thing I'm most proud of, and the one thing that's going to change the lives of all the children in Bradley County, is our mentorship program. This community's come together because they want to help these children too. A lot of these children don't have a parent. They don't have a guardian that's going to take care for them. We're going to be able to offer them a mentor that will show them love and compassion, that will help them get through these difficult times. Experience-proven leadership. I humbly ask for your vote and your support, but more importantly, I ask for your prayers. And thank you, Mike Bell, for your service. And please keep the Hathcock family in your prayers. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll get it. I'm used to, usually have to do this a few times. Good evening. My name's Andrew Morgan. And I look around this room and I see so many folks that I've worked with for the party over the last two decades. It's amazing. I feel old all of a sudden. For those of you who don't know me, I'm an attorney here in town. That's a little bit better. Been practicing for nearly 15 years. I actually grew up on a dairy farm here in Bradley County. Product of the Bradley County school system, University of Tennessee, and University of Memphis. In my practice, we handle criminal cases, juvenile matters, divorces, custody, bankruptcy, pretty much the full gamut. I've sat as special judge in Bradley County, McMinn County, and Polk County on over 5,000 cases in the last decade. Those judges have trusted me to be able to handle their docket for them, and I appreciate their trust. I'm ready to go on day one. Kids are where my heart is. We've had an internship program at my office for over 6 years. We've had over 20 children go through it. Some of those are in law school and graduating this year. Some of those are entering law school. Some of them we've smartly talked out of going to law school. So I'm asking for your vote. Years ago, the Republican Party took control of the state legislature, and the mantra was, it matters who governs. And I believe that's more important today than it ever has been. I believe in Republican causes and positions. I believe that you know best what to do with your children. Unlike some people who actually quote Hillary Clinton and say it takes a village to raise a child, I believe that that decision rests with you, the parent. I submit to you that I am the conservative, honest, and fair choice for Bradley County Civil Sessions Court Judge. I'm proud to have the endorsement of so many fine conservatives across the county. I'll close with this. I've served the party as young Republican chairman, our delegate to the state convention, treasurer of the county party. I've always supported conservative candidates and conservative causes, and I've always voted in the Republican primary. I've never voted in a Democrat primary, never voted for a Democrat. And I tell you that because I'm the only candidate in my race who can say that they've done any of the three, let alone all three. So during early voting or on election day, I ask you for your vote, Andrew Morgan, your conservative, honest, and fair choice for Bradley County General Sessions Division 1.
Thank you. Has anyone not turned in their first ballot? We've got a few over here, Hunter. Any over here that has not turned in their first ballot? The reason I ask is because we don't want to get these mixed up. We have to have time to get them counted. Okay, very good. The third straw poll of the night, General Sessions Judge Division 2 candidates. They are Rebel Johnson, David Calfee, and Clay Collins. If they would come in that order, please. Please make them welcome as they come.
Good
Good evening, I'm Rebel Johnson, and I thought I'd take this opportunity to ask you a question. How many of you here tonight do not know me? And how many of you do not know anything about the Johnson campaign? Would you raise your hand? No, Emily, that's my daughter. Stop that. Roy, if you would make a note, I'm coming over for supper tomorrow night to introduce myself to you. Been running in these last few months, and sometimes I've been known to give advice when I wasn't asked, and I'll risk it tonight and give you a little bit of advice to someone in this room who might be considering running for office in the future. When I was approached about running for General Sessions Judge, the last thing I admit to you that I expected was the incredible response and joy that I've had on, get this, knocking on doors. I admit, because of the time and effort, I'm a full-time attorney with Richard Banks. I said, this is really tough to do, but I'm telling you, it's been the most rewarding experience I've had in these last 3 months. I've even come away with 6 mason jars full of salsa, jellies, and other things that I wasn't expecting. A little bit of apple butter, got some honey out of it. So this has been pretty profitable the last few weeks. Even today, this happened this morning when we were knocking on a few doors. I've had several people in the county that have stopped. Some didn't even know me and have asked to pray with me. It's happened 3 times, including this morning. I encourage you to do that because it's encouraged me. I do have 2 bad experiences. I was telling David Calfee about it earlier, and I have referred those 2 individuals where they kind of threw my flyer down and stomped on it. There were 2, and I've given those names and addresses to Clay and David Calfee. They're going to take care of it. But I'm actually in a building that went to Cleveland High School. I've been here in Cleveland for 50 years and practicing for 36. And Cleveland's home, and it's going to stay home. And I would appreciate any consideration for a General Sessions Judge. Thank you.
The more we talk, the harder it gets to follow the Rebel Johnson dad joke scenario. I'm David Calfee, and I'm also running for General Sessions Judge Division 2. I am a native East Tennessean. I grew up just up the road in Rowan County on a small family-owned cattle farm. Worked my way through really every level of school in factories, restaurants, department stores, and before I went to law school, I was actually a heavy equipment operator, which was the best job of my life. At this point in time, I have been in Bradley County my entire legal career. It's 15 years plus now that is serving people in Bradley County in each of our divisions of General Sessions Court. I have also filled in for Judge Randolph, Judge Painter, Judge Swafford, and 2 of our juvenile court magistrates hearing every type of case that General Sessions Court hears. I know I can do this job because I've had the experience and opportunity to do this job. I am running, quite frankly, because I want to do the work. I want to serve you as Bradley County voters. I have been municipal judge in Benton for the last 11 years, handling a high volume of traffic cases, which is a big component of this particular court. I have the experience, both in terms of attorney experience, judicial experience, and life experience. I think it makes me a uniquely qualified candidate for this position. I ask for your consideration, your support, and your vote. Thank you.
My name is Clay Collins. I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I'm the father of 5 kids, ages 11 to 1, so it's pretty much a miracle whenever we make it to an event like this, so we're doing good being here. I am married to the love of my life, Carly Collins, who is probably the most patient and also the most beautiful woman I've ever met. And my family is one of the big reasons I decided to run. I'm heavily invested in the future of this county. Over the last 6 years, I served the people of Bradley, also McMinn County, Monroe County, and Polk counties as a district attorney assistant, district attorney, fighting crime in our community. In that role, I handled thousands of criminal cases. I argued hundreds of motions. I appeared in every criminal court, juvenile, sessions, and criminal in all 4 of those counties, as well as shutting down a few drug houses in front of Judge Sharp in circuit court. I thought that I would end up probably being a career prosecutor. I loved that job. I loved getting justice and fighting for justice. But as I went around our district, I saw a tremendous need here in Bradley County to improve the way we do things in our court system. And what I mean by that, because most of you here, hopefully as good Republican voters, have been able to avoid going to criminal courts. None of you look familiar from my job as a prosecutor, so that's always great. It's always awkward when someone is familiar. But what happens right now, if you happen to be a victim of a crime, the average case here in Bradley County takes anywhere from 2 to 4 years to go to trial, which means you're going to go to court over and over and over again to have it dragged out, delayed, continued, given excuses for why nothing can happen. I can't tell you over the years how many folks have said, look, at this point, I'm more sick of coming to this courtroom for nothing than whatever the crime was 3 years ago. And they're right, that's wrong. Justice delayed is justice denied, and what we're seeing here is our crime rate has been going up and up. I'm proud of the work I did as a prosecutor. I'm proud of the work law enforcement does. We have great law enforcement. But when you delay justice and take 2 to 4 years to get someone to trial and accountability, and when most of our crime, sadly, is drug-related, people that are using drugs usually get worse and worse. And what's happening is they commit more and more crimes. In our lower level, they get bond after bond after bond. I have personally prosecuted people in Bradley County that have picked up 5 to 10 felonies from their first one to going to trial on the first one. We cannot keep allowing that. Law and order is a conservative value. It is a Republican value. Speedy justice is a conservative value. It is a Republican value. In a Republican community like this, in a conservative community, we need speedy justice. That's why I decided to run. We need a judge in our lower level to get cases moving through, and we need a judge to hold people accountable if they continue to break the law. It's a lot of what the speaker already talked about tonight. So with that in mind, I would definitely ask for your vote tonight in the straw poll, but also your vote, more importantly, coming up in the election, and also your support, and please your prayers as well. So thank you so much. God bless.
Thank you, gentlemen. Well, it's time for another commercial break while they count those ballots. And let me, first of all, Emily's coming, but we want to recognize our table hosts. Table sponsors, Chairman Circle, Bradley County Sheriff Steve Lawson, County Commissioner Tom Cry, Leadership Circle, Doyle Beard, Buck Beard, Dennis Beavers, County School Board Member Vicki Beatty, David Benton, County Commissioner Martin Blake, Bradley County Republican Women, Constable Tim Fowler, Constable Wayne Henry, Bradley County Road Superintendent Sandra Knight, Andy Lay, Tommy Ledford, J. Adam Lowe, Andrew B. Morgan, Dan Rawls, Josh Rogers, Bradley County Clerk Donna Alley Simpson, Bradley County Commissioner Cindy Slater. So thanks to our table sponsors. At this time, Emily has a presentation.
I have a helper. We went from being a little bit nervous when she was doing the pledge to wanting to stay on the stage, so. Okay, we have 2 awards that we give each year at our dinners. The first person that we're going to recognize is someone that you can trust. He is loyal almost to a fault, and you never have to wonder what he thinks about an issue, ever. He tells you. He has served us as chairman for 2 terms and has continued to be an important part of our party and our executive board. He is one of the best practical jokers around, but most importantly, he is an honest and good man who has served our party well. Congratulations, the 2022 Ralph York Republican Man of the Year is Richard Burnett.
The greatest thing about this award was having Sophia give that to me. Thank you all for your support. I look around the room, I see some great Republican men that deserve this award a lot more than I do. Thank you so much. It means a lot to me. God bless America. God bless Bradley County.
Stay up here, Richard. We'll get pictures of us. Okay, the Republican Woman of the Year is a person that can always be counted on. She not only does anything that she is asked, but she volunteers to do anything she feels is necessary to make our party successful. She is kind and very considerate of others, and when she gets behind a candidate, man, look out, because she's going to talk to every voter in Bradley County about that candidate and help them get elected. I'm so thankful for her contributions to our party. Congratulations to Jean Clayton, our 2022 Virginia Smith Republican Woman of the Year. This is a little bit of a maze trying to get to the steps here.
I want to say thank you for this. I wasn't expecting it, but I really do appreciate it. And y'all have a blessed day. Bye-bye.
Well deserved. Congratulations to both of you. Our fourth straw poll of the night, Tennessee House of Representatives District 24. Those candidates are Troy Weathers, Kevin Raper, Rex Wagner, and Israel Farless. If you would come in that order, and you have again 2 minutes, and then you can cast your ballots. Has anyone not turned in your ballot for number 2 or number 3 straw poll? Very good. Troy Weathers.
Well, I hope you don't charge me for this time, but I want to point something out to you. I've been in politics for 20 years, and let me tell you who the most important people there are in this room, and that's the wives. Would you stand up if you're a wife, if you're a spouse of an elected official? No one will stand up. And the reason I said that, I was looking at Mike Bell, his wife's right beside him. The rest of the family's gone home, but she stood by him. And you don't realize sometimes as politicians how difficult it is to live through the political arena serving our county. So on behalf of me, I want to tell you, ladies, gentlemen, if your spouse is serving, thank you for letting them, because it's a sacrifice every single day. Now, if I'll start my speech. My name is Troy Weathers. I am currently the chairman of the Bradley County Board of Education, and I have served for 20 years. That's a long time to serve, and it's been an honor for me to serve Bradley County. This year, I have chosen to run for the State House of Representatives, the 24th District. I think I bring a lot to the table. I have bring 20 years of experience working with most of the politicians in this room. I think it's, when you're talking about going to the state, there's lots of tough decisions to make, and I want to tell you a couple of tough decisions while I've been serving the last 20 years that wasn't easy. Anybody remember when we decided to build Walker Valley? Walker Valley, the public thought, oh gosh, we're splitting up the biggest school in the state, and it was not an easy decision to make because half the athletes were going to go north and half is going to go south. Do you remember that 20 years ago? Do you know today that they're in the top 100 high schools in the country, not the state of Tennessee? So we did something right. The other thing I would tell you is during this COVID, we didn't miss school in Bradley County. You saw TV where people were out of schools. We didn't miss a day because we believe the kids were better off coming to school than staying home. We never enforced a mask. We believed the parents had that choice, not us. So we're a lot different in Tennessee than we are most states, unfortunately. Critical race theory. When the legislators voted for us to not teach that in schools, we're the only school board in the state of Tennessee, thanks to my friend Vicki Beatty. I called her and said, Vicki, I need you to do a resolution that we're going to support this and make sure our teachers know that we're going to support this. So there's no questions. We did that when it really wasn't popular. The next thing I'll talk about is another thing that's going to change education, and that's the PI Center. If you haven't heard about the PI Center, it's the greatest opportunity that our students will have in the next 30 years in Bradley County. It's going to change our kids' lives. Why do I tell you all that? I believe it's critical that we have people that go to the state of Tennessee and serve that knows about education, that has gone through the tough decisions in order to make good decisions for our students and for our community. So I'm asking you to send me there because I wish the Speaker of the House was still here because I want to make sure that if you send me, I want to be on the Education Committee. I want to be there bringing common sense. The Speaker said common sense. He didn't tell me how to make my stickers here, but it said common sense, a conservative, and that's what I am. I bring common sense to reality, and that's so critical today in the political arena. I ask again that you'd vote for me, support me, and I'll surely tell you a fact. I will do what's best for Cleveland and Bradley County. That's what's closest to my heart. Thank you.
Is Mr. Raper, is he here? Oh, Mrs. Raper, I'm so sorry.
Hello, I am Lori Raper, and I am proud to be the wife of Kevin Raper, who is a candidate for the 24th District House of Representatives. And he could not be here tonight. He had a previous obligation that's been in the works for almost 3 years. And I think simply put, that tells you the kind of commitment he has and the kind of person that he is. And he has been a faithful and loving husband and father for almost 30 years, and I know he will be the best candidate for this job. This is my son Manning, and he has a few words to say about his dad.
Yeah, so Mom didn't know I was going to say anything, but I thought this would be a pretty good story to kind of tell you the person he is. I was about 8, 9 years old. My brother in England comes to me one Sunday afternoon and says, hey, there's a tree on the side of the house. I overheard Dad, he wants it cut down. Their anniversary's coming up. This would be a great way to surprise them. Well, we got the tree down. Let me tell you, we got it down. And he wasn't very happy because he didn't want the tree down, and their anniversary was about 4 months past. So that night, we got a good spanking. And when we got spanked, there was a clear process. Do you know what you did wrong? Yes, I do. What did you do wrong? We told him, okay. And he would lay out a Bible verse. This is why what you did is wrong. He would spank us. He would put his arms around us, hug us, kiss us, and tell us he loved us. And that's who he is. So that's my dad. Thank you.
Good evening, I'm Rex Wagner. Thanks to everyone who put this opportunity together tonight, and thank you for the opportunity to speak here. I am a candidate for District 24. I am an attorney, but I have not always been a lawyer. I grew up in the Hopewell community, spent my summers working in our garden, hauling hay and feeding my dad's cow. Every Sunday we went to church in Prospect. I went to Bradley High School, Cleveland State, University of Tennessee at Chattanooga, graduated with a degree in criminal justice. After that, I ended up working at Bowater for 10 years, actually over 10 years, after they transferred me out of state. I left Bowater and went to law school. Returned to Cleveland, and I've operated a law practice here for over 25 years, concentrated in civil law. After the 2020 elections, I was talking with a friend who was really depressed about the situation that occurred with the national election results. And he said to me, he said, I feel helpless. What can we do to save our nation? My response was, there's going to be some tough times ahead, but there is one thing we can do. We can save our state. In our system of government, the states control much of life. Tennessee's on a good conservative path. I will work to keep it that way and improve the state anywhere we can. I will protect the most important things in life: faith, family, life, liberty, and our jobs. I believe there's great dignity in getting up every day and going to work. We need education and job training and programs that teach job skills, life skills, and leads people to be able to get a job and keep a job. I believe in liberty. I will support and defend every amendment to the Constitution of the United States. I have the training and I have the experience to do this job, and I will do it with humility and a servant heart. I would really appreciate your vote on August the 4th. Thank you.
How are we doing tonight? This has got to be the best looking group of Republicans I've ever seen. Of course, I could just be a little partial. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Israel Farless. I'm running for District 24 State Representative. Some of the things that mean the most to me is this community and family. It's no, the reason why I'm running is because, the reason why I'm running is because there are men and women in this very room that have inspired me to serve at a greater capacity. They've shown me the way to actually serve and to be a servant You know, I'll put it like this, because I'm obviously getting a little stage fright, just to be transparent. You know, I travel all around the country, and I'm not the most eloquent speaker, right? But I see things changing rapidly. Things are really getting out of control. You know, I've gone to several different state capitals around the country, met with leaders, legislators, to see why and what's going on. And they literally are telling me that this stuff is, you know, it's vote for Israel Farless, District 24. Appreciate it.
Please mark your ballots. I know the evening's getting late. The sun has set. But we have 3 to go, so bear with us. The 5th straw poll of the night, Tennessee Senate District 1 candidates, Dennis Beavers, J. Adam Lowe, State Representative Mark Hall. If you would come to the platform in that order, please. Here comes Mr. Beavers.
Well, good evening, everyone. I am Dennis Beavers, and I'm asking for your vote for Senate District 1. I'm the Trump Republican in the race. I was appointed by President Trump to serve as your USDA Farm Service Agency Director. During that time, I was the administrator over 55 offices across the state, 270 employees, an annual budget of $880 million, and when President Trump and the Chinese got into it, presided over $226 million that went directly to the pockets of the farmers of the state of Tennessee to protect your interest as consumers. And I'll tell you, China has been a horrible player, and even in Tennessee, they're trying to buy acreage of farmland. In the United States alone, they own already half the size of Iowa, and it's mostly in Texas, throughout the Midwest. Much of our best farming acres are going to the Communist Party of China. When you buy a Smithfield family farm, ham, out of North Carolina, it is owned by the Chinese Communist Party. Remember that, and remember that I will be an anti-China vote, whether they're making our drugs, whether they're trying to grow our food. They don't need to do that. I'll also add that I have been endorsed by 3 of the most conservative state senators out of the 33-member body, Senators Paul Bailey, Senator Janice Bowling, and Senator Frank Nicely are all dear friends and have endorsed me for this office. I'd like to say that working for President Trump was very interesting, and I hope that we see more President Trump in 24. But the thing that you need right now is a state senator that will not waver on issues. I am against Common Core in any form, or as I call it, Communist Core. I will do everything I can to rip out anything in our state curriculums that are going through our schools that pertain to Communist Core. You deserve a state senator that will be unwavering in where they stand. I believe that the patients should have a Bill of Rights. I want to say that I had an uncle that passed away during COVID. He didn't have COVID, but my aunt could not hold his hand while he passed away. Every family in this room has been touched by COVID in some form or the other. I don't believe a thing that Dr. Fauci has pushed with the Democrat narrative and the woke media that has been out there, and I will do everything I can to help you, and by providing you the best customer service the Senate office can offer. Mike Bell has done a wonderful job as a state senator, but nobody has bragged on Mike Bell's customer service to this district. We need to give Mike Bell a round of applause for the customer service that he has given each and every one of you tonight, because when you made a phone call to Mike Bell, you got a phone call back. I want to be that type of senator that gives you that phone call back, that helps you in your different communities. When I worked with many leaders across the state, Jim Tracy at Rural Development, we helped with broadband. Millions of dollars of broadband money has came to this district because of the Trump initiatives. I helped Donald Trump. I want to help this district. We can make this district better economically throughout, and that means all counties. I want to be your state senator. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Start that clock, Dan Howe. Hey, family, I know there's a lot that's been said about Senator Bell tonight, but Mike, 1 Timothy says, those who lead well are to be counted of double honor. And so I don't think we can say enough. And you stole my speech, man. You talked about family, and I've known for years that you were the quintessential citizen legislator, that you went to Nashville because you knew you had to come home, because Lisa waited, the kids waited, eventually the grandkids waited. And I'm just a few years behind you in that process. My lovely wife Rachel's here tonight, and we have 4 beautiful children. And I'm in Bradley County, and it's hard to stump with other people because you get up here and everybody tries to argue about how conservative they are. But I got news for you. All of us are pro-life. We're pro-Second Amendment. We're going to vote conservative ways in Nashville. But what I'm telling you is my motivation is family, because it's a cornerstone of any community. And many of you, I've called you mom, I've called you brother, shaking your hand, I've hugged your neck. And it's rooted in me. I had a grandfather who came home from World War II and started working as a janitor at an elementary school. My grandmother was the laundry lady at a mental hospital, and I ran the halls at night when they worked 3rd shift because my mother was a candy striper at the local VA. My dad was a house painter. Neither one of them had finished high school. And my parents instilled in me that all you needed was family, because family would root you and give you the core that you needed. And that Jesus taught you to love others, and family taught you to be responsible to others. So when I ask for your vote for state senate to go to Nashville, I ask for you as members of my family. And I promise that when I come home, just like Senator Bell did, I'm coming home to family. I'm coming home to children who are in our schools, who had to endure the post-pandemic policies. I'm coming home to a wife that works as a principal of a high school locally and had to deal with what comes down from Nashville. I come home as a business owner who closed a business because government said we couldn't do business anymore. I come home to you, to listen to you. And those of you who are business owners in the room, those of you who are educators in the room, you know that I've shaken your hand and talked to you, that I've asked you one question: how's business? How's school? How's life? And those are the values we'll take to Nashville. We're all conservative, but I want you to know at the end of the day that I work for family, and you're mine. I love you. I appreciate your vote in the straw poll and on August 4th. God bless you.
Hello, I'm State Representative Mark Hall. Tonight, my battle cry is twofold. Not only do I want to thank the hardworking men and women of Cleveland and Bradley County for allowing me to serve them as their county commissioner, I also want to thank you for sending me to Nashville for the last 4 years. And now as I embark upon the state senate race, Cleveland and Bradley County, I need you. I need you one more time. I've only made one political promise since 2006, and that was the simple fact that they wasn't going to outwork us. I am the grandson of a high school janitor. He cleaned the school that he attended but never graduated from. And I know the importance of an education because I've seen evidence without one. So when the hard-working men and women from Cleveland and Bradley County sent me to Nashville, it was one of the greatest honors of my life. And as a small business owner and as a Marine Corps veteran, I took the strong work ethic to Nashville, and it worked. And I don't know if you've ever worked overtime and undertime. I don't know if you've ever come early or if you stayed late. And I don't know if you've ever ate cold suppers and missed T-ball games. And being at home on Christmas Eve was just considered a blessing. If you've ever done that, I can relate to you because you're my people and you're my family and I'm your candidate. Mark Hall for State Senate, Bradley County, I love you. God bless you and God bless the great state of Tennessee.
Thank you, gentlemen. Please mark your ballots. Has everyone turned in their ballot for the previous poll? Not raise your hand, please. We have one over here to the left. They'll find you in a moment. County mayor candidates. Reminder, we have 2 minutes per candidate, and we will begin with County Commission Chairman Johnny Mull, followed by County Mayor Gary Davis. If you come in that order, please.
Good evening, everyone. It's been a long night. I'm Johnny Mull. I'm currently 3rd District Seat B County Commissioner and the Chairman of the County Commission. First of all, I'd like to say I want to thank the people of the 3rd District for voting for me and letting me serve them for the past 8 years. It's been an honor to serve the 3rd District. I want to thank our fellow commissioners who entrusted me as their chairman and let me lead and direct us and had the trust in me that we could move this county forward. It's very, very important to me what we're doing in our community. It's a very trying time. There are a lot of things in our growing community that we're going to have to address. I'm concerned because I feel like we don't have a vision for our future. I think on a yearly basis, we do a good job. But where do we want to be 5 years from now, Where do we want to be 10 years from now, 15 years from now? Have we really vested and talked with people in our community to ask, what do you want your community to look like? We need to do that as we grow and control that growth in that way, or growth will control us. I believe there's 4 pillars to an outstanding community: public safety and first responders. You have to feel like you're safe in community before anything else matters. We need to make sure that we pay our first responders competitive salaries and benefits and give them the tools they need to do their job. Number 2, second pillar, is education. We have to continue to support education. We're doing a pretty good job in our community in education. We don't need to ever stop with that. Someone mentioned earlier the Pie Center. The Pie Center is going to be a huge changing thing in education in Bradley County. For so long, and it wasn't a bad thing, we focused on college, college, college. College is not a bad thing, but there are many, many, many jobs that pay well, good careers, that we need to have those opportunities for students, and the Pie Center is going to provide those. The third is infrastructure. Roadways, transportation, traffic, water, sewer, broadband. In my view, we're about 20 years behind in our infrastructure. Go down Paul Huff. Broadband came about really big time during the COVID days, but we have to address those things. We have to determine where we want to go and how we're going to get there. We have a plan, a water and sewer study that is very feasible, and we need to look to possibly implement that and help those concerns. People's septic systems failing and things. And the fourth one is economic development, continue to recruit industry to provide good jobs and good skilled workers. Those are the foundations of any community. If we don't provide a solid foundation, a foundation cracks and then things fall through the cracks. We're at a tipping point in our community, I believe, where we can either go backwards or we can go forward. You never stay where you are. Change is inevitable. I believe in the concept of good to great. We're a good community, but I want us to be great. If it has Bradley County's name on it, I want us to excel in everything we do. I'm Johnny Mull. I need your prayers, your support, and your vote. God bless, and may God keep his hands continually on Bradley County. Thank you.
Only 2 more to go, 2 more to go. Hang in there, please. I'm Gary Davis, your county mayor. It's indeed an honor and a privilege to serve the most wonderful people in the world right here in Bradley County. I always want to start out by saying that because that is absolutely the truth. Over the next 3 weeks, you've got several choices to make. In my race, you have a choice to make also, and it's not just between 2 people, it's between 2 different visions of our wonderful Bradley County. I think everyone will agree it's not just fair, it is a wonderful county, and it didn't get that way by accident. As I have shared my plans, they involve keeping your taxes low. I presented 21 budgets to the county commission, and not one of those budgets required a tax increase. Did you ever have to vote on a tax increase, Mark Hall? They're not just my budgets, but they're balanced budgets, and they don't require a tax increase. So the plan that you often hear about, but you really never hear the plan, my plan involves keeping the taxes low while continuing to provide the services that you come to expect from county government. We have it good here in Cleveland and Bradley County, and we all know that. It involves growing responsibly by investing in critical infrastructure like broadband, water, and sewer. And we have a plan in place to do just that. It also involves working with our county commission, the city leaders, the state leaders, to continue to provide a community, to provide the things that we've all come to expect and that we deserve. We need to continue to provide an environment where people want to live, work, and raise their families. I met a gentleman a while ago who moved here from California to go to work at Walker. We spent 4 years recruiting Walker, and we've made this a wonderful community. And there's a gentleman from Los Angeles or Southern California. He promises to be a good conservative, and he's moved here all the way from California because he wanted to live in Cleveland and Bradley County, and he wanted to work at Walker. Welcome to Bradley County, sir. Not only have I laid out a plan, you've seen it in action. And you've seen it in action from the day you allowed me to begin serving you, which has been a while now. I often say I always remember who I work for, and I do. I work for the taxpayers of Bradley County, and I work as hard as I can to do what's best for each and every one of you. I ask for you to think of tonight and the next 3 weeks, think of it as an evaluation. Employers always do evaluations on their employees, and I'm your employee. So look at it as an evaluation. Have I done the job you elected me to do? And I say, yes, I have. Have I been the conservative Republican that you could be proud of? And I disagree with one thing that's been said tonight. Not all Republicans are conservative, ladies and gentlemen. Not all Republicans are conservative. But have I been a Republican, conservative Republican that you could be proud of? You know, it's been mentioned before, and I think it's fitting. I've heard it said that 4 pillars without a plan is just 4 sticks in the sand. It's an evaluation time, and I think a check mark is deserved. I think I've passed the test of doing the job. Bradley County is a much better place than it was the day I came into office, and we will continue to work with our city, our county commission, state leaders to make it even better. We're not going to sit still. We're going to work to make it even better. But I need your help. I need your vote tonight. I need your vote in early voting or on May the 3rd. My family and I sincerely ask for your continued support and your vote to allow me to continue to work for you. A good employer does not fire someone just because someone wants his job. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, gentlemen. The 7th and final. Is that a sigh of relief I heard? 7th and final straw poll tonight, District Attorney General candidates, if they will come in this order, Stephen Hatchett and District Attorney Steve Crump. Gentlemen.
I figured I'd get up here before Dan got done speaking because I know y'all are ready to go home. I want to thank the Bradley County Republican Party for putting this on. It's always good to be able to get up in front of a group of people and talk about why you're running for an office. My name is Stephen Hatchett. I'm running for District Attorney. I'm going to be quick. I always thought I was a quick speaker, but man, Gene Clayton, wow. I can't quite get it that quick because we've got a few things we need to discuss, but I'm going to be quick. So the district attorney sets policy. The crime control policy in any community is set by the district attorney. And law enforcement, they arrest people, they do their job fine. Law enforcement in Bradley County is top notch. but crime control policy comes from the District Attorney General. Right now, Bradley County's per capita drug activity rate is almost twice Hamilton County. Hamilton County is almost 3 times the size of Bradley County. You have some unique issues and challenges that are facing Bradley County. You have issues facing Bradley County because you all are on a path of growth, tremendous growth. You're next to a major metropolitan area. You have nothing but a bright future provided you get your crime rates down. And that's what has to happen. I don't say this to you all. It's been suggested that I try to scare people. I'm not interested in scaring anybody. There are challenges that have to be confronted. And crime is a complex topic that has to be confronted. And I don't suggest to you these numbers. If you don't think these numbers are accurate, if you don't think there's challenges, I encourage you to go out and go across the county. I've stood in driveways of people's houses and they've pointed and said, you see that house over there? That's a drug house. I've sat in living rooms with moms that said, my child is dead, and the drug dealer that sold her the drugs is still walking the streets. Folks, I'm not running for district attorney because I like power, I want power. It doesn't have anything to do with that. I was a prosecutor down here for 8 years, and I poured my heart and soul into this county. I have a degree in criminology. It's what I know. If you want to talk crime, we'll sit and we'll talk crime all day. We're not going to do it tonight because everybody wants to go home. But this is what I know. I agree with Clay Collins. I'm running because I want my family safe. I want your family safe. Your kids, your grandkids. Think about whoever's important to you right now. I want them safe. And that's the only reason I'm running. My name is Stephen Hatchett. I would appreciate your vote. Thank you.
There's an old political saying that says, if you want to talk about something other than your record, it's because you don't have one. I'm happy to talk about my record. From 2015 to 2019, my office sent 4 times the number of drug dealers to the penitentiary than they did in Chattanooga, despite the fact that they have 150,000 more people down there. During that time, when I came in, the trial conviction rate was 48%. 48% of the people who took the state to trial were convicted. That rate is now 88%. The DA's job, though, is not just about convictions. At the same time, we have helped reduce recidivism because we have doubled the size of our recovery court. I've helped Judge Donaghy start a veterans court. I've helped Judge Freiberg start a mental health court. I have a record that I'm proud of and a staff that I'm proud of. I have not ever wavered from talking about my record, and I will not, because I promised you that. The very first thing I said to you in my very first video was, I will only talk about my record. And despite the fact that I've endured attacks for the last 6 months, and I've been the subject of unfair and untrue ads from a dark money, California-funded PAC, you've seen the ads. They're paid for from California, the dark money that the speaker spoke about. But no matter what they say or what they do, I will never go back on my word to you. I'm here to talk about me and my record. My name is Steve Crump. I have served you for the last 8 years as your district attorney, and I would be honored to receive not just your vote tonight, but your prayers from today on and your vote in May. Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen. That is the last of our straw polls. Please mark your ballots And while they are gathering those ballots up, we're going to meet some other people. It won't take long. But all of you who are candidates for office, but you did not participate in the straw poll tonight, if you would like to introduce yourself and tell us what office you're running for, please line up on the ramp to my right. Here comes one. If you did not participate in the straw poll, line up to my right, and you will have about 20 seconds because it's late, folks. I wasn't talking to you, Mayor Brooks, no. If you'll please just give us your name, the office you're running for, and that would be greatly appreciated. Since Mayor Brooks is first in line, we'll just start with the mayor.
Hi, I'm Kevin Brooks, and I am honored to be your Cleveland City Mayor. I'm thankful for the prayers and the support from all of you to my wife and my son and our growing family. And more importantly, I ask for your support and your prayers as we go forward on the August 4th election for me to continue to be the mayor of the greatest city in Tennessee, the city with spirit, Cleveland, Tennessee. Thank you very much.
Oh, you short people. I'm sorry, I wasn't talking about you, Kevin. I'm sorry. Let me first say, women, if you wore heels tonight, your men owe you a foot massage because my feet are killing me. My name is Rachel Ivy Goins. I am running for 5th District County Commissioner, Seat A. I am running against Bobby Goins, and no, we are not related, and he is not my ex-husband. So, vote for me. I appreciate it. If you know any of your friends, tell them to vote for me. Thank you, and God bless.
I'm Tom Collins. I'm a former road superintendent. I served 4 terms, four-year terms, unopposed. And I'm wanting to, our roads have gone downhill, I put it bluntly, and I want to upright the ship there. We're sinking, and I just want to become your road superintendent again to make better roads for our families and our traveling public. And I appreciate your vote and your support and your prayers. Thank you very much.
Hello, I'm Alan Jones. I'm running for school board. I'm a 1972 graduate of Cleveland High School. Not a single board member can say that. They've never been to this high school. I started out at George R. Stewart when it opened in 1959. And then I went to Arnold, and then a short stint at Cleveland Day School, a private school, and then back to Cleveland High School. The reason I'm running is one reason. On the test scores, on the standardized test scores, Cleveland City Schools is ranked 106 of 140. 106 of 140. Bradley County, Troy Weathers over here school is ranked 58 of 140. Now, they spend less money than we do. If we're 106 of 140, that means 106 schools are better than us, school systems, and 34 are worse than us. You can't argue that. That's based on standardized test scores. It includes the ACT, but not the SAT. It's undisputable. Now, if we don't fix this, we're going to face a much different generation. I'm looking for accomplished alumni to come and serve on the board that don't work for government. We need people that work in the private business. I own about $36 million in appraised value, according to Bradley County, appraised value. here, so I have a lot of real estate and I know how to take care of it. Please vote for Alan Jones and for the Better School Project, and I'll make a big difference, I'll promise you.
Please raise your hand if you've not turned in your ballots. They need to pick them up, make sure they get a good. Here's one back in the back, Hunter. Thank you. Commissioner Thompson.
4th District County Commissioner, I'm running again. 20 seconds.
Good evening. My name is Josh Taylor. I'm running for Bradley County Board of Education, 4th District. Lifelong resident of the 4th District of Bradley County. I pastor a church in the 4th District, own a business here in the 4th District in Bradley County, and I would certainly appreciate your vote.
My name is Vicki Beatty. I currently serve on the Bradley County Board of Education, representing the 2nd District. That's Walker Valley High School, Charleston Elementary, and North Lee School. I would sincerely appreciate your support and your vote in the Republican primary for Vicki Beatty. Thank you.
I'm looking at this line behind us, and chancellors can count. So I'm going to say my name, Chancellor Jara Bryant. I ask you for your vote. Thank you for letting me serve for 24 years so far, and go Bradley County.
Well, good evening. My name is Mike Sharp, and it has been my pleasure, along with Chancellor Bryant and some other great judges here, to serve the citizens of the 10th Judicial District for the last 14 years. I would very much appreciate your vote to serve another 8 years. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Rich Kinlan. I'm running for County Commissioner for the 4th District on Seat B, and I very much appreciate your vote. I'm excited about the opportunity to serve, and I appreciate the opportunity to run. Thank you very much.
Good evening. My name is Cindy Slater, and I currently serve on the County Commission representing District 5, Seat B. I also am seeking re-election and would appreciate your vote. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Sandra Knight. I'm your current Bradley County Road Superintendent, and one of the big things that I want to remind you of is this is a leadership position. It is not an I position. It is a team position. There are 60 members of this team. We're a family of families, and those families ask for your support during this election. Thank you.
My name is Amanda Lee, and I'm currently running unopposed in the 6th District School Board race. I represent Black Fox, Waterville, Valley View, and Lake Forest, and I would appreciate your complimentary vote on May the 3rd. Thank you.
I'm Josh Rogers. I'm running for County Commissioner in the 7th District. Ask for your vote and your prayers on May 3rd. Thank you.
Hi, my name's Andy Lay. I'm a candidate for the 3rd District seat of the Cleveland City School Board. I'm a 1993 graduate of this great school. My wife Becca graduated in 1998, and she's a current teacher in the school system. She's been a teacher for the last 18 years. We have 2 kids who are in the school system. We're actively engaged in our schools, and I would greatly appreciate your vote. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Leon Shahan, and I'm your candidate to be the next District Public Defender for Bradley, Polk, McMinn, Monroe County. I'm a 6th-generation Southeast Tennessean and a lifelong resident of our home here in Bradley County. I've been in public service for the last 22 years, serving us as our family here, as a police officer and as an attorney. And with your blessing and support, we're going to continue that as our next district public defender. Thank you.
I'm Gayla Harris Miller, and I have for the past 16 years served as your circuit, sessions, criminal, and juvenile court clerk. But I've not done it by myself. I have 30 deputy clerks that help me every day achieve to make an office that you can be proud of. And I want to tell you something. This judicial division that we're voting on is very important, not just for Bradley County, but for the courts of Bradley County. And I appreciate my employees, I appreciate you, and for the past 16 years, it's been my honor to serve you, and I want to continue. I am unopposed, and I want that complimentary vote because that pushes my clerks and myself to do a better job for you. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Denny Collins. I'm seeking the position of County Commissioner, District 3, Seat B, which is Lee University and the Senior Center. I would appreciate your vote and your support. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm a new face to many of you. My name is Marsha McKenzie, and I serve as your council person for District 1. I was appointed when my husband Charlie passed away. I am running, I'm seeking in the August 4th election. I do have an opponent, so I would appreciate your help and your support. Thank you.
I'd like to thank the Republican Party for hosting this event tonight, but my name is Steve Anderson. I'm the constable in the 5th District. I'm running unopposed, fortunately, but I ask for your courtesy vote. Thank you.
I want to know where the foot massage line is. I couldn't pass it up. I'm sorry. Thank you. Folks, my name is Chuck Evans. I'm running for Bradley County Schools Board, 4th District seat. And people ask me, Chuck, why do you want to run? And it basically just boils down to this. It's a debt of gratitude that I owe. In 2008, when I lost my feet in an accident at Bowater, nearly lost my life, when I was unable to fulfill duties and jobs that my kids needed me to be in that time, Bradley County Schools, Bradley County, Cleveland City wrapped their arms around my kids and loved them. Not because they were special, not because I was special, just the fact that's their heart. And I promised myself if I ever had an opportunity to pay that back, I'd do everything in my power to do so. So on May the 3rd, if you would remember Chuck Evans, thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Dennis Epperson, and I am your current County Commissioner of the 1st District, and I take my job really seriously, and I appreciate the people that elected me to that office. I look forward to hopefully serving 4 more years, and I would appreciate your vote and your support. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Steve Lawson. It's been an honor to serve you as your sheriff over the past 4 years. I'm blessed to be unopposed in the upcoming election. Look forward to serving you another 4 years. I would certainly appreciate your complimentary vote in May. Thank you very much.
Hello, my name is Scott Donut Gilbert. I'm running for County Commissioner, 4th District, Seat A, and I sure would appreciate your prayers. Thank you.
Good evening. Thank you guys for coming out this evening. My name is Milo Blake. I'm thankful to be unopposed, County Commission, District 3. Thank you.
Good evening. I thought Allie Simpson and my husband's prayers have finally been answered. I can't talk. But I've been honored to be your county clerk for 24 years. I'm thankful to be unopposed, and I appreciate your complimentary vote. Thanks.
This is really going to upset my daughter. Cameron, stand up. My name is Jimmy Woody. This is my spokesperson and my billboard. photo. I'm asking your vote for Constable of the 7th District.
I'm Daniel Beatty, and I'm running for Commissioner in the 1st District, Seat A, and I sure would appreciate y'all's votes.
My name's Thomas Cry. I'm the Commissioner, 2nd District, Seat B. I'd like to ask for your vote for re-election. I'm a strong proponent of education, as many of you know. Alan Jones spoke about the ranking of the school systems. I'm very proud of Bradley County, and based on the fact also that our tax rate is the 4th lowest in the state of Tennessee. Out of 95 counties, there's only 4 with a higher property tax rate. And when you start criticizing, we need to keep that in the back of our mind. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Mike Hughes. I am the 1st District County Commissioner, Seat B. I'd like to thank the 1st District for their votes and support over the last 8 years. And for the next 4 years, I ask for a complimentary vote, so I would appreciate your vote. Thank you.
Babysitters aren't sheep, so I'm going to be brief. My name is Andrew Mark Freiberg. I'm your circuit court judge. I am asking for your complimentary vote. Thank you.
I'm Charlie Cogdell, running for Cleveland City School Board at Large. I'm a proud parent of 2 Cleveland High School graduates, and it's been an honor and privilege to serve the Cleveland City School Board. I appreciate your vote. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Sandy Casey. I am challenging Chuck Fleischman in the August primary. I believe that we should have term limits. He's not the conservative he says he should be. I'm tired of the abuse that is being foisted on us by the government, and we all need to stand up and stop that abuse. And I would appreciate your vote. Thank you.
I'm Ken Webb, Cleveland City Council at Large, and I would certainly appreciate your complimentary vote in the August general election. Thank you.
My name is Dawn Robinson. I am the longest currently serving Republican woman in Bradley County. I currently serve as the chairman of the Cleveland City School Board, and I ask for your vote for District 3. I hope you've enjoyed the event in this beautiful facility tonight. This was built during my term on the board, along with Raider Arena and the Science Wing. So I hope you will consider me for your vote in the primary. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Peggy Pesterfield, and I am running for District 4 for Cleveland City Schools. And I've spent 28 years as an educator with Cleveland City Schools. I was a teacher, a school counselor, school psychologist, and director of special ed. And I've enjoyed every minute of it. I've been on the board for 16 years, and I'm very proud of our schools. I have 3 children that graduated from Cleveland City Schools, and I have grandchildren that are also in Cleveland City Schools. And I want you to know that if you will check out U.S. News and World Reports and look up school rankings, you will find that we are in the top 16%, and we're proud of that. Thank you. And you don't have to vote for them. Just don't write anybody in, please. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Tim Fowler. I am the current constable for District Number 7. I have 26 years in law enforcement. I've been a police officer, a post-certified police officer, for 26 years. If you live in District 7, I would appreciate your vote. Thank you.
Hello, my name's Tommy Ledford. I'm running for 6th District County Commission, Seat B. I'd appreciate your vote. Thank you.
I'm Matthew Coleman. I'm running for City School Board at Large position. I got to dust off my old championship ring from being here 27 years ago. So I'm here for the children. I'm here to give the parents a voice and the teachers a voice because I think those children are our future. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Jimmy Kendrick. I'm running for constable in the 2nd District, where I've called home for nearly 20 years. Lifelong Bradley County, but thank you.
How you doing? My name's Earl Pike. I'm running for constable 1st District. I've been in emergency services now for about 20 years here in the county, and I'd appreciate your vote. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Jasper McDonald. I'm running for constable in District 2 here in Bradley County. I've been a resident here for about 25 years. Served 4 years in the United States Marine Corps as a machine gunner in the infantry, and been with the Bradley County Sheriff's Office now for going on 10 years, and I'd like to continue that service as constable here in District 2 and appreciate your vote. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Erica Davis. I am the current County Commissioner for District 6, Seat B. You know, when I was growing up, my mom always taught me that I had to set goals and I had to work hard. 4 years ago, I set a goal to be your County Commissioner for the 6th District, and I will continue to work hard to be that County Commissioner for District 6 for 4 more years. I would appreciate your vote, and I would appreciate your prayers over the next coming days, because running for a seat is not easy, and so I commend everyone that has put their name out there and wants to serve. Thank you very much.
Good evening, I'm Don Scoggins. I've been campaigning hard for Commissioner, District 1, Seat A. I would appreciate your vote and support.
Hello, my name's Bobby Goins. I'm the current County Commissioner in the 5th District, and if you live in the 5th District, I'm just asking for a vote. Thank you.
Hello, my name's John Stanberry. I represent you all on the State Republican Executive Committee. I decided to pull up the last because this job's a little different. All these people that just talk to you when they get elected, they've got to represent the Republicans and the Democrats and everybody. My job's different. I have to beat Democrats. That's my job. I'm a partisan. It's a Republican Party job. I don't cost you a dime. They don't pay me. But it's a very important job. While I've worked with the state party in 2010, we raised over $800,000. We spent every dime on it on state house and state senate races, and we took the House back for the first time in 142 years. That's a long time for the Democrats to be in control. I was in Nashville this morning. We have 3 meetings a year. I had one, rushed back to get here. Scott Golden, who's the state party chair, said he felt like this had been the most productive 4 years that we've had. We were able to push through, and I worked on this with a lot of other members for probably about 10 years. We now have asked for closed primaries. Democrats should not be voting in Republican primaries. And it's now the official position of the Republican Party. We're waiting on the legislature to do it. Our local legislators are not the problem. It's the people in Middle Tennessee and West Tennessee, but it's now the official position. Today, Chairman Golden let us know that, if my phone will open up for you, there are 2,700 plus Republican candidates on the ballot in the state of Tennessee. That's more than twice the number we've ever had. There are 225 Republican school board candidates across the state. And with Mike Bell's help and Dan Howell's, we pushed through the partisan school board, and they were not happy about that. But now they have to come to you and they have to tell you who they are, and they have to tell you what they believe in. And with what's happening in our schools, that's very important, and that's something the state party pushed through. We are on track to pick up 15 to 16 county mayor's offices across the state, 9 sheriff's offices, 9 new Republican DAs across the state. 1,300 Republican candidates are out with a door knocking app that allows them to knock on any door they want and know who's there, how they voted, what the demographics are. It's the largest equipped data candidate base in the entire country. Smith County, if y'all don't know, that's Al Gore's county. has never elected a Republican county mayor. We have 3 Republican county mayor's candidates right now. There's no Democrat. One of them will be the first Republican county mayor in Al Gore's home county. We sent 10 different amendments over to the legislature for election security. They're on track to pass about 6 of them. People are very concerned about that. The last thing I'll tell you is the reason I would very much appreciate y'all letting me keep doing this, and I'll be on page 85 of the August ballot at the very bottom. So if you could find me, I'd appreciate it. But we've got some independents running in my district. And the Democrat Party in California has put forward a bill to decriminalize the death of an infant 6 weeks after delivery. And it specifically lists neglect as not a factor in making it criminal. At this point, if you're not a Republican, you're a Democrat. So, John Stanberry, State Republican Executive Committee, I'd appreciate your vote in August. Thank you.
Thank you, John. The work that John does on the State Executive Committee is very important, and I, for one, appreciate what he does. Well, I think we've tallied the numbers, but before we do that, as they say on TV, it's called a tease. A lot can happen in 12 months, and we just thought it would take a moment, if you watch the screen, to honor those who could not be with us tonight because they're no longer with us. Did that bring back memories? People you knew, people no longer with us, but had an impact on the Republican Party in Bradley County and impacted to a great extent what we're doing here tonight. Everything from education, Jerry Frazier, I saw Kay Shamblin, who was a dear friend, and we miss them all. Well, without any further ado, I'm going to introduce to you a young man who is the vice chairman of the Bradley County Republican Party. That would be Hunter Shamblin, and he has some numbers for you.
All right, if you want a drum roll, go ahead and drum roll. Here we go. More excited about going home than anything. All right, here we go. Criminal Judge, District 10, Paul Rush with 105 votes, and the winner, Sandra Donaghy with 211 votes. General Sessions Judge, Division 1, Andrew Morgan with 128 votes, and Judge Barrett Painter with 175 votes. General Sessions Judge, Division 2, Rebel Johnson with 76, David Calfee with 113, and the winner Clay Collins with 122. House of Representatives, District 24, Rex Wagner, 45, Israel Farless, 71, Kevin Raper, 85, and the winner by one vote, Troy Weathers with 86. Tennessee Senate, Dennis Beavers, 47, Adam Lowe, 104, and Mark Hall, the winner, 155. County Mayor, Chairman Johnny Mole, 107, Mayor Gary Davis, 188. District Attorney General, Stephen Hatchett, 103, Steve Crump, 193. Thank you, guys. That's all we have.
On a personal note, let me say what a privilege it is for me to serve in District 22. I'm one of those blessed people who does not have an opponent in August or November. So I would appreciate your complimentary vote. It's an honor to serve in District 22. My wife and I often remark about the wonderful people that we meet, the wonderful people that we have an opportunity to interact with and serve. And I honestly believe, and I've said this to my wife, they are the best people on God's earth. They really are. They'll do anything in the world for you. If they feel you have a need, they're there to help you. And that's why I want to serve them one more term, at least. Maybe two, maybe three, who knows? We'll see. Don't start a rumor now. Emily Beatty's coming. She's right behind me. She's right behind me.
I promise to be very, very brief. Just a couple of things I wanted to mention tonight. Congressman Chuck Fleischman could not be with us, and he took the time to record and send us a video message earlier today, but we weren't able, with the formatting, to load it into our system. So I just wanted to convey the message from him that he is excited that Bradley County is now completely in his district. So he said to tell everyone hello. We appreciate the Congressman and thank him for his service and support of the Bradley County Republican Party. Also want to announce tonight that the Bradley County Republican Party will be hosting a county mayoral debate next Thursday at 6 p.m. at the Bradley High School Fine Arts Center. Again, 6 o'clock p.m. next Thursday. The public can submit questions to bradleygop@gmail.com. You don't have to worry about remembering that address. It's on our website and also on our Facebook page. And I also want to take just a moment, because I haven't had the chance to thank Alan Jones for the donation that he made impromptu here tonight to Mike Bell's scholarship. Thank you. And as we close tonight, again, I want to thank all of you for your support and loyalty to the Republican Party. And I think that it is all we have tonight. I know all of you, this has been a very lengthy dinner, but we haven't been able to get together for a couple of years. So I hope that you have enjoyed yourself. Thank you and good night.